On this week's episode of the Marketing Expedition podcast, it's special. It's the 100th episode of the podcast. And today we have someone special for you. It's Marty York, and he was best known for his role in Yahya McLennan in the beloved Sandlot movie, right? The Sandlot. And also he's made appearances in Saved by the Bell, The College Years, Boy Meets World, a whole bunch of things. He's also voiced episodes of Hey Arnold and all kinds of fun things. And we're going to talk about what it's like to be an actor and how an actor can use their talents to be able to help endorse products or services. And he has a few products and things that he's done now. And we're also hoping that maybe he'll even have a comeback in the return or reunion of The Sandlot. We're waiting to see if that's going to happen or not. But, you know, Marty was born in the 80s, the decade of big hair, big phones, pastel suits, and Cabbage Patch Kids, Rubik's Cubes, all the fun things, right, that happened in that time frame. And, of course, blockbuster movies that really kind of created and helped create pop culture. And that's what's happened now, looking back at The Sandlot and all of the reunions that they're having and holding. And it's really just a fun time. And he's going to share with what some of the products that have come because of the movie. So stay tuned. But first, I need to tell you about DoorDash. You can go to peppershock.com/offers and get $30 off your DoorDash. It's a great way to support local restaurants with safe, no contact delivery. And like I said, you can get $30 off or $10 off each of your first 3 orders when you sign up. So go to peppershock.com/offers and get your free $30 from DoorDash from me. And now it's time for the Marketing Essentials moments, the basics that you need to help you build your brand and your bottom line. It's not the plan that's important, it's the planning by Dr. Graham Edwards. This is really important to consider, right? Why some businesses succeed and why others fail. In fact, it's estimated that 50% of businesses fail due to a lack of planning. And planning can really help get the stage set and get your strategy out and what it is that you want to do and why you want to do it. But first things first, we need to know who you're going to market to. So understanding your target audience and really defining who it is that you're wanting to attract to your business, right? Gathering the data, understanding what's happening, what kind of conversations are being had, understanding what you can measure, right? Measure what we treasure, dump what we don't, automate what we hate. But what are those kept promise indicators or key performance indicators that you can treasure and measure along the way, right? If it's measured, it's going to get done. So think about gathering the data, how you're going to measure it, what kind of scorecard you're going to keep, and then thinking about what your goals and objectives are. What is it that you're wanting to accomplish, right? And get to know that data that you can measure and collect and do those things. And then think about how you're going to test everything that you're going to do, and then how you can get that on track on a regular basis and making those iterations happen every single time. Then take a step back and look at what you've accomplished. Look at how you are utilizing your skills and your knowledge and your expertise to then help you build your brand, right? And if you need help, right, consult an expert. That might also help you in your journey in putting your plan together. And sometimes other people can have more brain space and collectively come together with a whole marketing strategy and plan. And we have tools that you can use in the marketingexpedition.com website. And we're also creating the marketing plan system for you to help you go through this marketing plan process with us. So without further ado, let's listen in to our 100th episode with Marty York.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast, an auditory journey through the latest in marketing, branding, and advertising. Now, here's your Marketing Expedition guide, Ray Allen.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. I'm your host, Ray Allen. I'm president and CEO of Peppershock Media and the founder of the Marketing Expedition community. And today's guest, we have Marty York. Welcome to the show, Marty.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Well, I just want to, first of all, thank you. You are our 100th guest on a 100th episode of the Marketing Expedition podcast, and I'm excited to have you. Yes. Share a little bit
gonna
about...
fall from the ceiling, or what's going on?
I know, right? Yeah, balloons pop from the ceiling. So just share a little bit about you and with our audience, you know, a little more about into who you are and what you do now, Marty.
Well, most notably known for the baseball movie The Sandlot, of course, and was a child star from 1990 to 1997, and kind of got out the business in 1997. I got in a pretty bad car accident when I was 17. At the height of my career, was auditioning against like Elijah Wood and like really big actors, and I was going to school and basically waking up very early in the morning, going to school all day, and then leaving and driving to Hollywood, which is about 60 miles one way from where I was living. Got in a car accident, broke both my legs, died at the scene, was actually resuscitated, and lost a lot of blood, and had to, after that, I kind of reevaluated my life and, decided that I wanted to take time off of acting, and did a number of different things in the or not really in the business, but, other businesses, working in real estate and timeshare, and you name it, for, the past almost 15 years. Then I got back into the business in 2013 when we did the 20th anniversary of Sandlot, and just started doing a lot of stuff with acting again when I got back in. And I've been doing stuff ever since, gigs here and there, and, have some other ventures going on.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about some of the other ventures you have going on.
I'm big into fitness, so I'm starting a supplement line with a Sandlot theme to it. It's going to be called, based on Beast. So my first supplement is going to be called Beast Juice, and it's going to be a pre-workout I'm coming out with, and actually going to be shooting the commercial for the Beast Juice at the beginning of next month, October. So that's going to be fun. And hopefully the Sandlot show for Disney Plus, we're still waiting on the word back, but we talked to producers, and hopefully that still happens. We actually met with producers at the end of 2019, and they wanted to do the show, and then COVID hit and everything kind of got put on hold. So we're hoping that it's still something that we can do.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see it. If we get to see it on Disney Plus, that would be amazing. So let's talk about some of the things that you've done. You've done some endorsements, and you've been in commercials and those types of things. From a marketing perspective, what's it like when you want to hire an actor and be involved in that process? Kind of walk us through what some of those things are that you've done, and how to go about it. If somebody wanted to hire somebody like you, what would they do?
A lot of it is done through studios and different casting companies. So the first thing you want to do is find a really reputable casting company that, does a lot of stuff, maybe with celebrities or just actors in general. And then you basically audition a lot of people. It's done kind of differently now than it was when I was a kid, whereas everything out now is done through social media. So a lot of castings are put on LA Casting or Actors Access or these different casting sites, where when I was a kid, you would just have an agent. Basically, they mail in your headshot, and then the casting director would call you and you would audition. Where now it's, a lot different. Basically, there's thumbnails of hundreds of actors, and they're kind of just scrolling through, oh, he might work for this, he might work for this. And they're looking at your resume. And so, for companies that want to do commercials, and find a reputable casting company and take it from there, and they can kind of organize that for you.
What are some of the things that you've been able to do?
As far as commercials go, 2013, I shot a Old Spice commercial, which was kind of a spoof on the Jersey Shore. It was Executive Spray Tan Parties was the name of the commercial. So if you go on YouTube, you can actually still see it. Executive Spray Tan Parties. It's got a lot of views. It's got 6 million views. It's an Old Spice commercial. I shot it with, I don't know if you know the black guy, Isaiah Mustafa. He's on the horse in the commercials, and he's like, I'm on a horse. And I shot the commercial with him. He's a great actor. Yeah, like I did that. I did a Tecate beer commercial. I did a commercial with Chelsea Handler called, it was a 7-Up commercial, curling weights, and she was curling 7-Up cans, and a lot of stuff when I was a kid. Colgate toothpaste, ragu spaghetti sauce. That was actually the first thing I did, was a Colgate toothpaste commercial before I did Sandlot. That was when I was 11. I booked that. I just come from Northern California. I did theater from 5 to 10 in a very small theater. And so I came to Hollywood, and it was a big change because I was in a room with a bunch of casting directors and lights and directors, and they wanted me to dance with this little girl, and I hid behind the chair. I was so scared I couldn't do it. And so they coaxed me out, and I did it. And I ended up getting the part. And then after that, I got a call from the same cast directors. They wanted me to play an Italian kid in the ragu spaghetti sauce commercial. And then, so my mom was like, wow, this is easy, But then after that, I didn't get anything for like 2 years. We were really struggling, and me and my mom were like renting little rooms out of people's homes. And then Sandlot came along and the rest is history.
Right, right. Well, let's talk a little bit about Sandlot since it is such a phenomenon that people still to this day will, quote the movies and there's all kinds of merchandise and everything from it. I mean, what was it like for you when you were acting in Sandlot?
That was a blast. It was like being in summer camp for 3 months. And, me and the guys we had the most fun off camera because they had us in this condo in Utah and we would do crazy stuff. I tell the story how we snuck into Basic Instinct when we were little kids. And we were bad little kids. I mean, we did a lot of stuff off camera as well as on, and we improvised a lot of the lines in the movie. Your clothes are going out of style. They already are squints. That was an improvised line. But we just became the best of friends, and I kind of fell out of touch with those guys after Sandlot. I saw them here and there at auditions, and then we kind of rekindled everything in the 20th anniversary in 2013.
Right.
That was the first time I saw almost all the guys, not all of them, but, and it was we went back to the Sandlot and we did like 2 baseball stadiums, but they were like AA teams.
Yeah.
Then we did the 25th anniversary and it was like insane. It was like first we did every baseball stadium in the United States. So we
including one in Boise too. We had you out, and that's how we first met. And we had the Sandlot play in the baseball field, and people came and autographs and all kinds of fun stuff that was going on. And we got to promote the event and get people there and have that inflatable screen up there, and it was a good time for sure.
Boise Hawks, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think that was around the 20th anniversary that I did that.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years before the 25th.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. That was fun. I did that with that director's brother, Scott Evans, who the Sandlot's actually based on. He is the Scotty Smalls. He's the real Scotty Smalls.
The real one that's based on. I think that's great. Yeah, and we had, the hot dogs and we had some posters and it was a lot of fun to put it together and trivia and all the fun things that people say and, So was your line the most famous line? Was it improvised or is that something that kind of just came naturally or was it supposed to be?
I don't know if my line was the most famous line. I think the most famous line from the movie is "You're Killing Me, Smalls."
That's true.
That was probably the most famous line from the film.
Killing me, Smalls. Yeah.
That line was actually, it wasn't even "You're killing me, Smalls." It was like "Killing me, Smalls."
Yeah. Yeah,
and he
exactly.
Added, you're killing me, Smalls. It wasn't. I forgot what it was, but Pat Renna added something to it that made it more memorable because the line wasn't like that. It was something else.
Mm-hmm.
And the "You're Killing Me, Smalls" was kind of like some improvisation in there. But that line is like on thousands of T-shirts now. And that shirt with him saying that is actually the highest selling slogan shirt in history.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. One line can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Urkel's "Did I Do That?" Or
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so your line too, was that improvised or is that something that they scripted for you?
Oh no, that was my character. That was my character's thing. He said yeah before everything because he had some kind of speech impediment. What was funny because when I auditioned for the movie, I did not originally audition for I auditioned for Bertram, who was the guy that got lost in the '60s and no one ever saw him again.
Right. Right.
So I auditioned for him, and I ended up getting a part of Bertram, and he had a bigger part in the movie at first, as in the scene where Squints is talking about we're in the treehouse and he's talking about the beast and the whole story of the beast and all that. Yeah, I landed the part of Bertram, and then we went to the field, and they were kind of like they told us to stand on the line at the baseball field where we practiced that before we went to Utah to film, and they're like kind of putting us together and like the shapes and the sizes, and they're like, come here to me, and I, bring my mom over, and he doesn't really fit the part of Bertram. We liked him to read for which was like a different character in the film. They wanted Bertram to be more like a hippie-ish kind of guy. Was more like the fast talker, the quick, tons of energy guy. They're like, we'd like him to come audition for So I'm like, great, because I already had 2 auditions for Bertram. They wanted me to come back and audition again for a different character, and I'm just like, I'd love to just be in this movie. So I remember like before the audition, my mom got me a giant Hershey's bar, and I ate the whole Hershey's bar, and she's like, okay, that's your sugar rush. And I'd go in there and show them the energy you got. And by the end of the audition, they were standing up and clapping, and I knew I had the part of So
Oh, good. So that was the secret to serve you a big, huge Hershey's bar.
Yeah, the Hershey's bar did it. So I thank the Hershey's bar.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. So now, thinking about marketing and kind of since we're going on this marketing journey and you're talking about things that you're moving forward with in the future, what are some things that you're thinking about how you're going to approach getting your beast juice out into the marketplace? I heard you're going to do a commercial, but what are some things that you're thinking about doing and helping that, getting it launched, getting it out there, and tying it into Sandlot? Obviously, that's going to be, I think, a huge component to it. But share a little bit about what your marketing plan is.
Yeah, definitely gonna market it on my Instagram. I don't have a giant following, but I have like around 20,000 people. So I'm just gonna market it on there, and I'm gonna have my friends that are also actors market it. Hang out with a lot of my child star friends from the Mighty Ducks and different films. They're gonna help me market it. I'd like to figure out how to do the ads for Facebook and Instagram because I think that's one of the best marketing tools out there. Me and the guys put an NFT line out at the beginning of April, and we marketed it on Facebook and Instagram. We did really well. I'm sure if more people understood what NFTs were, it would have been better. But yeah, I mean, I think definitely the Instagram and Facebook, marketing strategies. Yeah, I mean, just word of mouth, and hopefully the fans will buy it.
And it's going to be directly sold to consumers, not necessarily in a retail space or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to put it in a retail space if I can get into vitamin shops and things like that. That is something you have to kind of go around to different vitamin shops and like literally have samples for people, and they try it out. And if they like it, vitamin shops will pick it up.
Or bodybuilding.com.
Yeah, bodybuilding.com. Yeah, there's different venues. Yeah, bodybuilding.com is based out of
Boise. Yeah, it is.
Boise, yeah. I went to the headquarters when I was there.
That's right. Yeah, you got to tour around and check it out for sure. Yeah. Ryan DeLuca, he's not owner of it anymore, but we got to interview him a long time ago, and they won business of the year or some award or something. So that's how I originally got to meet him. And every once in a while we'll still do a fundraiser and just different things. And I've had him speak before. So that might be a good inroad for sure.
Yeah. I'm friends with him on Facebook. So I wanted to reach out to him and say, you have any connections for me to, get this on the site? Because I don't know who it's owned by now, but that's definitely a good route.
That would be a good place to be for sure. So talk more to me about this NFT. What is it that you did, and what was successful with it?
So for the listeners that don't know what NFTs are, basically stands for non-fungible token. It's kind of a new thing out there. It's digital art. So you're probably saying digital art. Well, I can just go on a website and I can download a picture, and that's digital art for me. This is more like it's actually like collectors. It's got its own unique code, own unique serial code. They're numbered, so you can only there's a certain amount made. They are rare. People are buying these things for a lot of money. If you look online, some NFTs go for $1 million for this digital art. We started a line. We called it the Boys of Summer to avoid copyright infringements. And we kind of did our own thing. What we did was we posted pictures of like behind the scenes that we actually took while we were doing the movie. So it's like art you can't find. I mean, it's pictures you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it did really well. We launched it for 2 weeks. It did well. We just launched another NFT that just came out, which is artwork done by a specific artist. They actually took a picture that we did on set, and he turned it into an animation.
Wow.
And, so it's boysofsummer.cards if you want to find these NFTs.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a digital collectible. They're awesome. They're going to be worth a lot of money. There's some of them bought mine, and some of them are selling for like $500-600 already. And
wow,
it's going to be big when people actually start understanding what they actually are.
Right. Yeah. Non-fungible tokens. Right. Yeah. NFTs are going like crazy. Yeah. It's interesting. And so then people can buy it for a price, and then they can resell it and sell it for more later if they want to, or they can hang on to it, and then the value ideally will increase over time. Right.
Yeah. It's got the serial number on it and everything. So it's an individual piece of artwork that they own, and it's going to be worth quite a bit.
Excellent. So now are you going to be doing another reunion for Sandlot again? Are you going to do the same as you did before?
Yeah, I mean, let's see, we did the 25th, 2018. That means next year it would be the 30th, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do a
God,
little math there.
we're gonna
Time
come
math.
out. We're gonna come out in walkers and wheelchairs, and yeah, we're doing. Hopefully this one's even bigger than the 25th because
Hmm.
the 25th was crazy. I don't think any of us really that's for the first time really all of us were together. Of course, with the exception of Mike Dieter, who played Benny the Jet, because he is a firefighter now, living that life. But it was crazy. We got to stand on baseball stadium fields all over the United States and throw out first pitches. And
Yeah.
the Dodger Stadium one was really big because we took our positions on the Dodger Stadium field before the Dodger game that we actually played on Sandlot. We got a standing ovation from 60,000 people.
Wow.
So we sold out the stadium, and it was Dodgers versus Giants, which is a old rivalry, and the Dodgers won, and so we were like, yeah.
It's cool.
So,
And I'm sure it's cool to get together again with all of the people that were involved with it and reminisce about the times that you were together. And people want to see that, if it worked out so well on the 25th, I'm sure it'll go again, and then movie sales will go back up again. And yeah.
yeah. I'm just hoping the show happens. That's what I want, because I've been acting like quite a bit, but it's hard to do a movie of that magnitude again. It's like sometimes you hit the lottery with a movie like that just because you don't know what it's going to turn out to be. And in the beginning, Sandlot wasn't just a huge smash hit, but
Right.
over the years it became a iconic cult classic. And
Hmm.
just the things we've seen. I travel around Comic Cons and sports memorabilia shows with these guys, and we were in, where were we? We were in Tennessee a couple weeks ago. We did it was the AAA team for the Cubs. People came from all over the country and waited in line for 8-9 hours in Tennessee heat
Wow.
for an autograph. And it's still amazing to this day. And the amount of, as you said, like apparel and Sandlot shirts and stuff like that is crazy.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, people, I think, have watched the movie, so much that they can recite the words. And, I think it's great to see, and like you said, it wasn't at first, it wasn't as big of a hit, but then over time, there's these movies that continue on and live on. So if it goes on Disney Plus, you said that it's going to be a show, so they would create a new show with new actors, or tell me a little bit more about what you're hoping to have on Disney Plus.
Yeah, when we went with producers, we would be in it, but it's kind of like the Cobra Kai thing, where you have a new generation of kids. So we would have our kids.
Uh-huh.
That's like a possible. I can't say the whole plot line, but
Obviously, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's set 25 years in the future. So if the movie took place in 1962, it'd be set in the 80s, of course, and it would be us in the 80s. With having adventures, and
Yeah.
and the nice thing too is that if you watch the end of Sandlot, it shows what happens to all of our characters at the end of the original Sandlot. So the show kind of picks up on all that.
Yeah, so then you'd be living it out, and I think that'd be awesome. I'd definitely watch it.
Yeah.
And I watched all the Cobra Kai stuff too, so
Yeah, and that show was great. That turned out really great. And
Yeah.
and we've got great producers and directors working on this show too. Have done some big stuff, so I'm hoping it goes through. It's they had luck with the Mighty Ducks show, and I think the
Yeah.
Sandlot show would knock it out the park.
Literally and figuratively. I love it.
Yeah.
Excellent. So just tell me a little bit more about, kind of the things that you want to do. I know you're doing your beast juice, but are there other things in the future that you're hoping to accomplish, or what you're wanting to aspire to do even more of?
Yeah, I'm still auditioning for stuff and hopefully book a role. I'd love to be in like a action hero movie, or like one of those Marvel movies. That'd be really cool.
That would be
I was
cool.
a big comic book nerd. Yeah, I was a big comic book nerd as a kid. So X-Men or something like that would be cool. Yeah, just doing something like that. So hopefully my agent can get me into something like that. But I got side gigs, of course. As I said, I'm launching a Beast Juice, and I have a day job, and the acting's not really paying all the bills just yet again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
really, that's the ultimate goal, is to do that again and get
Yeah.
back in the business full time.
Yeah. And you spend time at the gym too, right? Bodybuilding.
Yeah.
doing
Well, that's
things.
why I'm launching my supplement line.
Yeah, exactly.
I got into the whole bodybuilding thing after my car accident because I was doing physical therapy. And while I was doing that, I was learning a lot of stuff from the physical therapist about bodybuilding and weight training and dieting and stuff like that. And I'd always been a really skinny kid. I always came in like around $120, $130 when I was growing up. So even like high school and junior high, I was like one of the smallest kids. I was always a fan of like He-Man and like wanted to look like those guys. And so I just started training after I, started recovering from the accident, and it just stayed with me. And I've been doing it now for 20 years.
Has your accident impacted your legs now to this day, or have you been able to fully recover?
I mean, I'm mostly fully recovered. I mean, I did have a lot of bad injuries. I had a partial hip replacement on my right hip. I had a lot of damage to my left knee. So the flexion in my left knee will never be what it was. But unless I go back and have like a big surgery to get that fixed. But basically, there's a lot of scar tissue in the back of my knee. So there's a sciatic nerve that runs down the back of your knee. And back in 1997, when I had the car accident, they said, well, if we actually cut this nerve, you basically have no use of your left leg. Mm-hmm. So we have to leave the scar tissue in there. So basically, the flexion in my knee is like around 95% right now.
Right.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, I don't really have any issues. And
good.
Except when it gets cold outside, I have a lot of metal on my legs. So it's like I start feeling the pain in my leg. I'm a Terminator now, so.
There you go. You go through the airport security and you probably beep, huh?
Yeah, I do sometimes. They scan my hip. What you got hiding right there? I'm like,
yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Marty. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us and the time that you've given us to talk about all the fun things that you've got going on and the history of the Sandlot. But is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience before we wrap up?
Yeah, just check out my supplement line coming out soon. There'll be updates on that on Marty_York. And we're going to be building a website as well. If you guys like NFTs, definitely check out NFTs. We're on Atomic Hub. So I think that's atomichub.com. If you type in the Sandlot, we have our NFT line there. Also, boysofsummer.cards is where you can buy the actual NFT. And we also have a clothing line that we made because of the thousands of Sandlot shirts that you see on the market. A lot of them didn't get permission from Fox to use the Sandlot image. So there's a lot of stuff out there that is
not official, unofficial,
not official Sandlot gear. But we launched our own line of shirts and mugs and stuff like that on boysofsummer.cards. So if you actually want to support the cast, then go to that website. And
excellent. Well, we'll definitely put that in the show notes as well and share that out there with everybody and see if we can't get you some more NFT purchases and supplement lines. I'll have to try it. You'll have to send it out to us and we'll try it.
Yeah, the beast juice will get you going. It'll make you want to go to the gym.
That's right. Instead of a Hershey bar, right?
Yeah. The Hershey bar originally did it for me, but now I need something a little stronger. So the beast juice is what you guys need.
That's right.
Yeah, to get you going. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marty. And for those of you listening, the best thing you could ever do is give us a review or share this with others that need to hear what we have to offer you in your marketing journey and ways to help you build your brand and your bottom line. Thanks again, Marty.
Thanks, guys.
And until next time, enjoy the journey.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Want to continue the journey? Don't miss out on new episodes. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.